lazy laggard, poaching again in the king's forest?
No, my lord sheriff, you have been misinformed.
Misinformed? Oh, do say. Dare you accuse one of the king's soldiers of making a false accusation?
Oh, no, no.
Or perhaps of lying?
No, no.
Or trying then to fabricate stories about deeds that never happened. Like you trying to sneak into the king's forest. And perhaps you weren't carrying a bow at the time the king's soldiers caught you crawling on your belly through Sherwood Forest. Crawling on your belly like a thief! Or were you crawling to avoid being caught as you plotted to steal from our good king? Hey, which is it?
I wasn't plotting against our king. I was only trying to feed my 7 children. My lord sheriff, I'm a very poor woman.
England is full of poor women, and that's no excuse to break the king's law and poach the king's deer in the king's forest.
I can hardly grow enough food on my tiny parcel of land, and the king has 100,000 acres in his
The
forest.
king has what God gave him through the divine right of king.
If God has given our king so much, then why should he demand even more from us poor peasants?
Your meager taxes, you sluggard, support the king's army.
Why does the king need my 2 bargains to support his large army?
Silence!
But my lord sheriff, surely you have asked yourself the same question. Why does King John need such a large army? We're not at war!
A large army keeps England out of war.
No, my lord sheriff, a large army only eats.
I said silence. Our king's army must be large and must be strong to preserve England and to take back the Holy Land in the Crusades.
But the water around our fair island preserves us already, and the Crusades are the monks' for. Why not let the monks in the monasteries fight the Crusades?
Because if our king's army doesn't fight at the Holy Land, those infidels now in Jerusalem will soon be in London.
Oh, I doubt that very much, my lord sheriff.
Silence, sluggard! You're accused of not paying your taxes and trying to kill one of the king's deer.
I only wanted 1 deer. 1 deer could last my family months, and the king has so many deer in his forest.
And if every family in England poaches and kills 1 deer every month, soon the king would have no deer. And what would happen then?
Then, my lord sheriff, I'm afraid our king would starve, just as his subjects are now starving.
You are starving because you are lazy.
This woman can only do so much, and the king takes what we have and still demands more.
That is not my concern, wretch. You're accused of trying to kill one of the king's deer, and I sentence you to death by hanging.
You see? Is he not just as I told you? Oh, he's the most cruel and cold-hearted lout in merry old England, which isn't so merry right now. And though he screams of his loyalty to Prince John, well, the truth is, he dies on the finest young deer, and he steals from the king's tax collection. Oh. But now, to tell you more of the story. Now, remember, you were in England during the latter half of the 12th century, and the tyrant King John has just greedily stolen the throne from good King Richard, who is off fighting in the Holy War and the Crusades. The people are very poor, and they need Robin Hood, an outlaw who robs the rich in order to help the poor.
These peasants who think they can just walk into Sherwood Forest and walk home one of the king's deer scot-free and think that I, Sheriff of Nottingham, won't notice. Think I, protector of the king's forest, won't do anything about their illegal poaching? These thieving peasants must be stopped, and I command the king's law be upheld.
But my lord sheriff, you can't expect your men to stand guard at every part of Sherwood Forest, every moment of every day.
Well said, my Lord Dunstan, as if I didn't already know that.
The problem is then, how do we discourage the local farmers from hunting in Sherwood Forest?
We hang a few of these sluggards.
Hey, my lord.
Yes, hang. Let these lazy, shiftless, fly-bitten peasants who dare take their crossbow into Sherwood Forest swing from the end of my rope.
But, sire, you cannot have every poor English peasant swinging from the end of your rope.
But it is the king's law.
And good May God save our king. Cannot have every poor English peasant swing from the end of your rope either.
And why not?
Who would pay the taxes?
Well said, my Lord Dunstan.
The issue here is not paying taxes. I will make sure that every servant in Nottinghamshire pays taxes. The issue here is the illegal poaching of the king's deer, and I will not permit this poaching to continue.
And King John, what will he not permit?
My Lord Bishop,
Neither you nor our good King John can keep demanding England's peasants keep paying such high taxes.
listen to you, the representative of the church, speaking such hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy, sire?
Of course, hypocrisy. You, the clergy, demand as many shillings as good King John's peasants, Sunday after Sunday, offering after offering.
Perhaps we do, my Lord Sheriff. After all, operating God's church, feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, housing the homeless, these works of charity take money. Money we receive graciously from England's peasants. But the difference is, if England's peasants decide not to give money to God's church and suffer no consequences, but if England's peasants decide not to give money to King John, then you want every one of them swinging from the end of your rope.
Your word, my Lord Bishop, sounds treasonous.
To you, my Lord Sheriff, who is always searching for a higher position in the King's court, every word sounds treason.
Enough. You serve the king,
I also serve God
at King John's pleasure.
and the will of God.
Whatever. No matter, you must still be loyal to King John.
I am loyal, most loyal to King John, and I assure you, every good churchman throughout England is loyal to those he serves, considering we're fully the needs of his people.
The needs of his people? And what about the needs of the king? He is our protector, you know.
Is he?
Bishop, you sound more treasonous with every word you speak.
I serve a king who seems deaf to the hungry stomachs of his own people, while seeming to care about filling his own purse and the purses of those arrogant individuals.
You too, my Lord Bishop, could swing from the end of my robe.
Is that a threat or a promise?
Whichever you prefer.
What I carry here is compassion for those peasants who need food and clothing.
If you care so much for these lazy ne'er-do-wells, give them your food and your clothing.
I already have, sire.
And they still clamor for more?
There is such a great need, and I have so little.
But you have so much, hidden away deep inside your monastery.
And we of the clergy are graciously and most generously giving as much as we are able. But we must have King John's help,
And to have that, you must have the king's favor.
which you have,
Because I serve the king.
while lining your own pocket.
Listen to the kettle, calling the pot black.
Unfortunately, many wrongs still exist in England.
Yes, I suppose they do. And among the most vile of wrongs is the illegal poaching of the king's deer in Sherwood Forest.
But they are not King John's deer.
They graze in King John's forest.
That makes them King John's deer.
First of all, my Lord Sheriff, they are God's deer. And those deer leap into Sherwood Forest only because they observe no man-made boundaries. Outside Sherwood Forest, those same deer which you call God's deer, suddenly once again become God's deer. And I'm certain, very certain, if the deer knew our borders and the meaning of boundaries, they would much rather belong to God than to the tyrant King John.
Treason!
My Lord Sheriff, how can a deer commit treason?
Not the deer, you!
You would accuse me, a bishop of the church, when it is you who steal from the very taxes you collect?
Someday, Bishop, your tongue will wrap your neck in a hangman's noose.
Perhaps, and surely someday, my Lord Sheriff, you will meet a higher judgment, which I trust will be infinitely more merciful and understanding than you.
Perhaps. But I will wait for that day.
It will come.
Perhaps. But until such time, I shall remain judge for good King John, and I vow to put the end to this thievery of the king's deer, no matter who or how many swing to their deaths.
Then may God truly have mercy on your iniquitous soul.
You see? Is he not just as I told you? A skunk.
argument. The bishop trying to claim the deer in this forest don't belong to King John.
It is better said the bishop is trying to remain on both sides of the fence.
Both sides of the fence?
It's a political fence. See, our Lord Bishop must appear to be a friend to the serfs who live in Nottinghamshire, so those ignorant peasants will foolishly continue to drop their shillings and farthings.
Into his silver offering plates.
Exactly. And yet, as a king's bishop, he must also appear to be a friend to King John.
To keep his position. How convenient.
How difficult. No man can serve two masters, even the bishop's own scripture tells him.
So we wait.
Wait.
Yes, we wait for the bishop to make a mistake. And then...
But King John, what would you think?
he will agree with me.
Agree with you.
When I tell him how many deer the bishop's monks have poached from Sherwood Forest.
Nothing.
None. My Lord Dunstan, he thinks you are blind.
Blind?
To the trap we can set, and trap our Lord Bishop in the act of stealing deer.
But he doesn't steal deal.
Not yet,
Then,
but he will.
not Lord Sheriff. You would lie to the king about the bishop?
Oh, really, my Lord Dunstan? Words are nothing but well-placed lies designed to deceive your enemy.
But the bishop. He is not our enemy,
Nor is he our friend.
but he has the ear of the people.
And I have the ear of King John.
But the bishop
Yes, what about the bishop?
turned all the peasants against us.
Really? And against the entire king's army, too?
Well, it would take weeks for the king's soldiers to reach us from London. And by that time, my Lord Bishop could have...
Our heads, you mean? Nonsense.
Say that when the peasants are betting on your demanding.
My head? Believe me, my Lord Dunstan, I do not intend to ever allow that to happen. And what have we here, my Lord Dunstan? A thief in the king's forest?
No, my lord.
But you carried a staff.
All the king's subjects carry wooden staffs.
Not all. Especially not a serf who works the farms, and not a subject entering Sherwood Forest unless that subject means to do harm with that staff.
I mean no harm to you,
How good to know that.
nor to anyone. I carry the staff to show His Majesty the King.
What?
What?
Yes, what? His Majesty the King what?
That I could be among England's finest defenders.
Really?
I'm on my way to London now, to the King's palace. I wish to seek an audience with the King.
An audience with His Majesty? You? A serf?
I am not a serf.
But you look as if you were a lowly serf.
What I look has no bearing on what I am.
How interesting, my lord.
Robin, my lord, Robin Footsuit of Loxley.
Robin of Loxley.
And as I was saying, I'm on my way to serve our King.
Really?
And to show our King true skill with the staff.
How bold. How courageous. And what a braggart you are.
I am not a braggart. A braggart speaks loudly of that which is not true. What I speak is
It's truth, I suppose.
truth, my lord.
Well then, Robin of Loxley, if you be so skilled with that staff of yours, show me. Show me what you can do with that tree limb.
But why?
Do as I say and don't ask questions.
Quite a strong command for a serf walking through Sherwood Forest.
I am not a serf.
Nor am I.
Well then, Robin of Loxley, I command you.
Command? Who and what are you to command? Me?
Thomas Allen, Sheriff of Nottingham.
Merely a tax collector, then aren't you?
The king's representative I
And
am.
I am one of the King's nobles.
But obviously not a noble close to the king, or he would already know of your self-proclaimed valor, your strength at least of your boast, and your so-called skill with that tree limb of yours.
I wish to serve the true King.
John,
Richard.
traitor.
No, my lord. When King John learns of my skill with the staff, he will quickly set me off to fight side by side with good King Richard. Richard the Lion-Hearted.
Richard is not a king.
Richard should be king, and Richard will be king when he returns from the Crusades.
If he returns from the Crusades, most men don't.
When he returns, I will see to it that he does.
Well, until his oath return, knave, John is king, king of all England.
John is a tyrant who has stolen England's throne. Stolen from his own brother Richard, while Richard was off defending all Christendom.
Foolish words, Robin of Loxley. Foolish words for a nobleman.
True words, my lord sheriff. True words for any man, noble or serf.
Well, then not only are you an impudent fool, Robin of Loxley, but you truly are a treacherous traitor to King John and to all of England.
I will show you, Thomas Allard, who is an impudent fool. It is you and your kind, my lord sheriff, my lord thieving sheriff. You and the tyrant King John, not only stealing a good man's throne, but robbing England's poor peasants of their hard-earned shillings, stealing the very food from out of their mouths, and destroying their families and their homes. You and the tyrant King John are the true traitors to England.
You dare call me a traitor?
I dare speak the truth.
And you dare threaten me?
My Lord Sheriff, it was you who only moments ago commanded me, your lowly subject, to show you true skill with the wooden staff. So indeed, you shall now see my skill with the staff.
Arrest you in the name of King John
Arrest me?
for attacking one of the king's representatives.
One of the king's thieves, you mean?
You will live to regret this decision.
And you'll live to regret your traitorous acts to the peasants of Nottinghamshire.
Foolish move, Robin of Loxley. Foolish move which makes you an outlaw. An outlaw to be hunted down, and when found, to swing from the end of my rope.
Then from now on, I, Robin of Loxley, will no longer be Robin of Loxley, but Robin Hood. I will become the outlaw that you have made me. So take care, Sheriff, lest you be the one who finds himself high above the ground hanging at the end of a hangman's rope.
Idea, but only insured for us. Only insured
10 shillings for King John, as his law demands.
You've done an excellent job collecting His Majesty's taxes. King John will be pleased, very pleased.
And 50 shillings for me.
And for me?
A handsome reward.
Oh, fine sire, thank you very much.
As soon as you return from London.
When I return from London,
Yeah, you must deliver the king's tax money.
I'm delivering the king's tax money.
Well, somebody's got to do it. Besides, who would suspect you, my Lord Dunstan?
Suspect me what?
That's just what I said. Who would suspect you? To send any of my men with you would attract attention. His attention.
But I couldn't do this. Carry the king's tax money to London, especially alone.
You wouldn't want the king to think you being disloyal, would you?
Me? Disloyal?
And you know the penalty for disloyalty.
Sour?
If you're fortunate. The gallows if you're not.
But not even one soldier?
Not even one soldier. You shall travel through Sherwood Forest with nothing but a simple box.
And what will be in this simple box?
The king's tax money, Duns.
But it's heavy.
Give that to your excuse when I tell the king you wouldn't go because you said it's heavy.
If I don't come back
Don't come back.
from Sherwood Forest.
This Robin Hood's a thief, not a murderer.
My Lord Sheriff,
Lady Mary, how lovely you look.
do you like it?
Well, of course, anything you wear I like.
No. Am I interrupting important affairs of state?
Not at all. Lord Dunstan was just leaving.
Not for good, I hope.
And where's Lord Dunstan going?
London.
London?
On an errand of great importance.
But to go to London, he has to go through...
Sherwood Forest, exactly.
But Sherwood Forest! The outlaws are there!
Now, my pretty lady, don't worry yourself about the outlaws in Sherwood Forest.
But Lord Dunstan alone! Perhaps I should go with him.
Nonsense. Lady Mary, I'm sure Lord Dunstan will do quite fine on his own. Besides, we have important matters to discuss.
Important matters to discuss.
How to make our guests feel welcome at the ball.
Guests always feel welcome in your manner, sire. I really feel someone should go with Lord Dunstan. Perhaps I...
Lady Mary, if he is attacked by the outlaw, what could you do to protect him?
I guess you're right, my Lord Sheriff. What could I do? Last week's tax collection from Nottinghamshire will be taken from the Sheriff's Manor to London later today, Robin.
Really?
Yes, sometime today, passing through Sherwood Forest, will be the Sheriff's representative laying it down with a large and heavy amount of shillings, Nottinghamshire's taxes.
You mean blood money stolen from Nottinghamshire's peasants?
I'm not certain the Sheriff would agree with you on that.
The sheriff is a rat.
A rat who represents King John.
An even bigger rat.
Spoken like a true outlaw. Over there. A sheriff's man. I see a large box. Could it be?
Good morrow to you, and Godspeed you on your way.
I'll speak to you too, sire.
You look tired and quite weary, my friend.
Indeed I am.
And your box looks to be quite heavy. This looks to not deceive you. Perhaps you need some help.
No,
But you look so tired.
I can manage.
You look quite weary, my friend. Why don't you rest a bit?
No, I do not have much further to go.
Oh, and where might you be going?
Not far.
Not far. Then surely I am not so busy that I cannot help my fellow man with his burden. hard-earned shillings, which first belonged to them before you and your thieving sheriff stole them.
Treason!
I,
Robin
Robin Hood,
Hood!
will make your journey and your burden much lighter. I will only take what rightfully belongs to the peasants.
You'll swing from this.
Maybe so, but the peasants will be better fed. Now take your box, your empty box, back to your thieving sheriff. And Bishop, see that the peasants get what is rightfully theirs.
With my blessing. From Robin Hood, your stolen shillings are now being returned to you by Robin Hood.